I want the season to start tomorrow. I'd like training to start tomorrow. I don't see the game in any other way than scoring goals. For me, that's the key thing. Hard work, a lot of work, and making sure everybody does that. Together, I think we do this for the people outside the building, Bayern fans. My name is Vincent Kompany. That's how they pronounce it in England. Vincent Kompany. I was born in Brussels. I've been a coach now for 5 years, I would say. I've lived football, dreamed football all my life. It's my passion. I hope to bring this passion to this place. I grew up in Avenue de l'Héliport, Quartier Nord, northern quarter of Brussels. Yeah, it was a challenging place to grow up, but filled with so many fantastic memories. Football was, of course, a very big part of my life. Me, my brother, and even my sister was an athlete. I think we were a sporting family always. We were very lucky to be raised by wonderful parents. One of the biggest things we always had in the family is from the youngest age, we knew we had to work hard. We knew we had to, give everything to everything everything we applied ourselves to. It's followed me till now. I'm not an ex-footballer in my mind. I'm a coach working hard to develop the players and to win games, and that's still with me. Don't know if it's a philosophy, but it's an idea. It's a goal. I told you my history is since the age of 6. I was with Anderlecht, always playing in the best teams, and I don't see the game in any other way than scoring goals. For me, that's the key thing, and it fits with, I think, what Bayern wants to express as well. It fits in what big teams needs to be. And I hope we can bring that again next season. And then the other side as well, I think it's the message you communicate as a team is so important to your fans as well. Is everybody will see the talented players and everybody will recognize the talent and say, well, it's normal that they win, or it's normal that they... But in reality, I would love this team to communicate something that is maybe not so normal, like, can you be good individuals but also the best team? Can you be the most talented players but also the hardest working team? And I think then people go home and say, hey, I don't think I could do this. It's quite special what they do. I'm not someone that wants to overpromise as well. It's just hard work, a lot of work, and making sure everybody does that. And that message, if we can get this into the team this season, that would be my biggest goal. My very first clear memory is when I was 6 years old and I did a trial for Anderlecht, who's my childhood team. I was there from the age of 6 till 20. I remember scoring in my own goal. But they still saw something in me, and I stayed in that club for 14 years before I then moved to Germany, which is a reason why I can still speak German. Just having fun, playing with a smile, and loving the game the same way I do today. I was loving it at 6 years of age. I think it's easy to look back and say, okay, it's the successful moments. But I think that every challenge, every tough moment has defined me more. And I think in my mentality, it's also sometimes what I need. And I remember after every success, every celebration, remembering that I was actually built in the challenging moments. I was built in the times where I had injuries. I was built in the times where I was living for the first time on my own, and my mother died, and my sister had cancer, and it was really a tough time for me. And I was building those moments, and that gives me the confidence to trust myself in any other moment. So yeah, it's been a career of many highs, but I don't think you're built by the highs, you're built by how you handle the lows. Consistent, really consistent. Resilient, lose, more motivated. Win, more motivated. So anything is motivation for me. I think honored at the moment, you know, honored by the job, honored by the opportunity. Yeah, I like even a fourth. No, but extremely driven. I want the season to start tomorrow. I'd like training to start tomorrow. I'll be on the edge of my seat until then. I learned from every coach, for sure. Some things I wanted to do, some things I wanted to do differently. But of course, I think it's clear that for me the biggest influence was when I was probably 30. Pep Guardiola came into the building for the very first time, explaining a little bit his idea of the game. And I think within a week I knew I will be a coach. Very simple, not necessarily because of what he wanted to do, but more the way he explained it made me understand, like, okay, now I can go my own way with this. I can have my own ideas with this. And then at the end, of course, I asked a little bit about his experience as Bayern, and he was very helpful in explaining to me how he saw the job, how he lived the job. I have to give credit to him, of course, and then Pellegrini, Mancini were great influences, and others as well. So you take a little bit from everyone. My first memories of FC Bayern was when das war eigentlich mein ganz erster Champions League Spiel. Haben wir gespielt gegen, ich glaube, Roy Mackay war vorne. Das war meine direkte Gegner, und dann gab es auch Basti Schweinsteiger, glaube ich, und Owen Hargreaves, Sami Kufur, Oliver Kahn, Salihamidzic und Pizarro. Also das war eine ganz gute Mannschaft schon. Und ja, für mich war mein erstes Champions League Spiel. Ich habe eigentlich ganz gut gespielt, muss ich sagen. Und es war unentschieden zu Hause und ja, eine ganz gute Erfahrung. The moment I stopped playing football, I also stopped being a footballer. I can relate. I can go back to my experience, but I worked really hard day and night to become the best coach, and so I hope I can still teach them. I can still give them something more. My main goal is to, I think, write the next page. So pressure, no pressure, it's not something that is too much in my thinking. I'm here to work with players, I'm here to work with staff. If they work hard, if they do everything they can every single day, then we have a big chance to be, you know, to be a top team again. And okay, I think sometimes as well, to go through some pain, like I said, you know, like how do you know about big players at times? When you win every time, but sometimes when you lose, that's when the big plays come. You know, that's when the big plays show. And to now rise up and take this as a challenge, I see this as the best time. Hopefully we can communicate a message through what we do on the pitch. I would love that. This job is the best job in the world. So I think if we can at least, you know, show that this is how we feel about it, then this team can always be special. I signed for the players, I signed for Max and Christophe, I signed for the people inside the building. And then together I think we do this for the people outside the building, Bayern fans.